Like if we got to see Rick Rubin get pulled off a yoga mat and thrown into a wrestling ring, you know,
right.
And Busta Rhymes did a fucking suplex on him. That'd be fire. I've been hearing, by the way, nothing but psychotic stories about Rick Rubin.
Oh, bro,
like, it's that everyone's having their day now. It's like all these people are like, all these legends are having their day where they're getting recognition now because they're rolling out with a book or a show or a documentary, and people are like,
it's simultaneous.
Dude, I follow this super swagged out like 50-year-old guy, lives in LA on TikTok, and he wears like really nice like denim.
It's the Beck guy. The
you
guy
saw that? Okay, so I sent that to you.
Yeah.
So he told this story about how he used to he played on Odelay, like, and he was like a bassist or a keyboardist or something, but he had a part in that. He told this story where Rick Rubin came by to Beck's house, I guess, and didn't come in, made them come outside and get into his car, like his Land Rover or something like that. And so he just started playing Odelay. Like he had gotten the final mix of Odelay before Beck had somehow. And so they were just listening to it, and they drove around and listened to the whole album, and he brought it back. He brought them back. They're like, all right, cool. So, and he was just like, yeah, I think it's really bad, man. Like, I really don't think you should put this out.
You should shelve this.
Yeah, you should really shelve this. You should do something with me, though.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, okay. Well, thanks for like the feedback and shit. And he just left, and you know, Odelay's Beck's best-selling album.
Literally.
And it's like,
I want to unpack this. So he did an interview with some mainstream. Who was it that interviewed him? Where he's saying, "I don't do anything." He's like,
"Oh,
or who
was it? Anderson Cooper?
It might have been.
I feel like it was Anderson Cooper.
I think it was.
He's talking about, I don't actually know anything about music.
Right. So that goes viral. So then all the music people, the industry people, producers just starts taking a piss, mate. Like he just starts taking a piss, and then that opens up the crazy dark stories that are now I'm seeing like on Twitter.
The polar bear story.
Was it a polar bear?
It was a polar bear.
And then he said to scare niggers.
Yeah.
He had a stuffed polar bear or something in the entrance of his house or something.
Yeah, and I forget who it was that asked about it.
It wasn't Russell Simmons, was it?
No,
I can't imagine.
I can't imagine it was somebody
that
I can't imagine it was somebody that kept
escaping to
with
Thailand because I have accusations of. Russell was in the story somehow.
Yeah,
he might have been there. I don't think he was the one who asked.
Yeah, someone else asked. I like, what is this here for? What is this? Or I went, oh my God, there's a fucking stuffed polar bear in your crib. That's weird.
And I'm just pleading with like my sensibilities that it was somebody who did not continue working with him. But he asked why he goes, what is this polar bear for? And Rick Rubin just goes, to scare niggers.
Wow.
Apparently, yes. Yeah. This is what people are saying.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Was it you years ago who said, someone said to me about Rick Rubin, like, I don't know, like he's on some dark, like people have rumbled and whispered things to me for years.
Russell Simmons that long, to me,
no. People have said aside from that, like someone told me he was on some like crypto fascist shit.
I think I was in the same conversation. I forget who it was, but we're saying
anyone. Let me tell you something.
Don't know, but
anyone who's got that slightly like calming, hypnotic kind of voice that sounds very soothing and chill, like they know everything and they got everything under control.
He's a very chill guy that's feels very attacked right now.
Yeah.
I am not a fascist, and I was really
see that guy is the fascist if he's feeling attacked by this.
What did I do?
I'm a chill fascist, and I don't like this. Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know. Like I sent you another clip of Jeff Bezos talking about how he likes time in the morning to putter. I like to putter around. I like to do really high IQ meetings before lunch, and I like to make about 3 really good decisions a day.
Because when it gets to 5 p.m., it's like, I don't want to deal with that. We'll deal with that at 10 a.m.
Yeah, let's pick this up tomorrow and deal with it at 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's like that
with
voice.
A big tie too. The bulb of the tie was just so wide for no reason.
I get up early. I like to putter in the mornings. I like to read the newspaper. I like to have coffee. Puttering time is very important to me. I like to do my high IQ meetings before lunch. Like anything that's going to be really mentally challenging, that's a 10 o'clock meeting. And because by 5 p.m., I'm like, I can't think about that today. Let's try this again tomorrow at 10 a.m.
I mean, he's such a creep.
Yeah. I feel like anybody that white Buddhist energy.
Yes.
It's that.
Yeah.
Watch out for it.
It's like, oh, it's real convenient to now believe that to not believe in possessions and the desires and all these things are okay.
Yeah,
what a good point in your life.
Where's the Zen with the royalties and splits after the fact? Like, where's the balance there? You know,
right? It's like,
Rick, you've got the dialectic. You don't got the materialism part of that in the picture. You got the dialectic part.
I just feel like the reason that you're suffering is because you want your residuals and
you want this ownership. Just give it to me.
Why are you so?
I'm Rick Rubin.
Why do you care so much about money?
Everyone's always talking about dialectical materialism. Why don't we get rid of the materialism for a second and just focus on the dialectical?
Let's focus on the dialectical.
Yo, diabolical materialism.
That's what he's doing.
That's the jaded shit.
Yeah.
That's the jaded shit.
Yeah. Diabolical materialism.
See, they want you to believe that they are talking about dialectical materialism. It is diabolical materialism, my friend.
My brother.
Diabolical materialism.
They built the pyramids into the ground the same way they built them up into the sky.
Yeah.
It's a column directly from the top of the pyramid into the bottom of the earth.
Yeah.
That's why you have the all-seeing eye, my brother. That's why. It's on the back of the money.
It's a Rubik's Cube.
It's
the corner of a Rubik's Cube. Yeah, he's very like let the creative energy flow.
Right.
Don't hold on to what you thought it was gonna be. Embrace what it could be that's better. And it's like, I could imagine losing my fucking mind. Like, I have a vision, this guy's just supposed to help me, and he's like, no, make it a country album. That's what it's supposed to be. That's the bigger
The
thing.
thing that's sad and that a lot of people, I think, objectively aren't aware of is that this Rick Rubin vibe and energy is an entire archetype amongst rich, wealthy white men.
Oh yeah.
Like, he is not the only person like that is like this. There's a whole like, it is a type of person.
You mean there's more than one guy who's built his whole career just off going, why don't you add guitars?
Let's play it in my car, see how it sounds.
Have you considered, I'm really thinking we should go for maybe like a kind of a rock and roll kind of vibe.
What if we made rock and roll music?
Yeah. You know, I know this is your music, this is black music, but what if we tried to reach, you know, a more competent audience?
Yeah.
I think the concept of a tastemaker is like, I think that's valuable, but there's a limit to how far your power and like wealth should go strictly under being a tastemaker. And like, he has far surpassed that.
It's like, hey man, maybe just fucking start a column in a magazine or something. Why is your name?
His roots are in the business. That's the point. It's money. It's access and money. That's the lesson to be taken away here. You know?
But it's also like, you know, it's that thing where men get to a certain point where their work has validated them enough, and they've proven to everyone that they work enough, and then they do the inner self work.
Yeah.
Like after the fact. And that's what all these like rich guys who retire, that's what they're all fucking like. Is just like, they're all just like, yeah, I'm actually like, it's about empathy and creativity. Shit. We've talked about it before. How it's like only after you've like, you know, bushwhacked your way through the competition to the top.
Yeah.
Do you have any of these like Zen realizations?
Yeah, because it's the rare cases where that shit actually pans out and you actually get to explore being a whole person for a little bit. You know?
And there's an answer in collective organization that allows us to do that now while we do shit with our labor and our talents and our skills. We don't have to hope we become rich and wealthy one day,
or hope a rich and wealthy guy finds us and you know,
that's important too. Yeah. And I feel like on that conversation, it comes down to trust. That's a part of how, you know, it's like people for some reason trust. It's tied to the Rick Rubin thing. They trust the rich white man because of this, like, because of white supremacy, but also meritocracy. Like they think, oh, well, if this person has money and status and power, then they should be the one who decides.
Yeah.
When in reality, there's like a collective intelligence to be harnessed. There's a collective trust that can be cultivated. And out of that, people can fucking put their own money and their own resources together to design institution systems that actually create the space for the self-exploration and healing as the production is happening.
It's funny because it's like seeing all the footage from this like rollout. He's made a lot of points that sound like that. Like, you gotta capture the magic of the room and everything.
Right.
But it's like, you know, that's not really what it is at its core.
Yeah.
But that is maybe what it is episodically.
Right.
Sometimes.
It's like, at a certain point, it's like, hey man, why don't you tell me a single music fact?
Give me some music facts.
Tell me what a chord progression does. You know?
Right.
At a certain point, if you're telling me how to if you're trying to guide my musical career, just tell me where a dominant chord goes.
That's where he goes, shut up, I'm Rick Rubin.
No, actually,
I'm gonna go do yoga.
Why don't you add some guitars?
Yeah, why don't you add some guitars? Yeah, no, it's it's just part of that spectacle, like you were talking about. It's just it does make sense. Why the thing I feel like you peel back the layers of the music industry and you realize there's so many uncredited heroes of everything. I feel like there's a lot of writers and engineers and producers that just get absolutely no shine at all.
Yeah, it's like once you peel back 1,000 layers of this onion, you'll eventually find some musicians.
Right.
Eventually.